Everybody. So today we're going to be talking about, whoops, that guy, U.S. Grant and the end of the Reconstruction. So when we talk about Grant, Grant was, he had a sort of a storied career. He'd been in the Mexican-American War, mainly in the supply route. He had left the military after that. And he had gone into running a shop. And when the war came back up, he re-upped with the military, and that's where he made his name. He was supposed to be with Lincoln on the night of the assassination, but his wife and Lincoln's wife did not get along at all, so he did not attend. And so in 1868, he was recruited by the Republicans to run for president, and he runs, and he beats what's his name? I should know this. Horatio Seymour. That was the name I was thinking about. It's just such a strange name. Fairly easily, but it could have been close. But he does win, and he'll win a second term against Horace Greeley, who, after Greeley loses in 1872, goes into some of a depression and then dies even before the Electoral College votes. Now, Grant's presidency, well, let's say this about Grant. Grant was personally a very honest person, but he surrounded himself with people that weren't so honorable. And there were several scandals during the Grant administration. There was a scandal to corner the gold market by Jay Gould. There was the Credit Mobilier scandal. There was just a lot of corruption in the White House, mainly because Grant didn't seem to have a lot of interest in being president. He liked to go to the racetracks. He liked to smoke cigars. He liked to play poker. That's nothing unusual for that time period, is that the presidents often felt like that it was the job of Congress to govern, and their job was just to administer whatever laws they passed, not to really take a lot of positions. Now, on the plus side, Grant did certainly prosecute KKK members, and he helped get past the 15th Amendment, which granted African American men the right to vote, which actually sort of helped Grant, because Grant wins by about 300,000 votes in 1872, with 500,000 African Americans voting for Grant. So I'm not going to say a whole lot about Grant, but he does some good things and some bad things, but usually, for the most part, Grant isn't listed as one of the great presidents, although his autobiography is considered one of the best written autobiographies by a president. And he wrote that when he was dying of throat cancer, and he was trying to, in the 1880s, provide some money for his family. In 1876, Grant had finished his second term. He would like to have run again, even though that Washington had sort of started that two-term tradition. But Republicans had enough of Grant. They just thought that he was too tainted from some of the scandals. And so we get new candidates. For the Republicans, they nominate Rutherford B. Hayes, a fairly unknown person for the most part. The Democrats nominate Samuel J. Tilden out of New York, a New York millionaire. When the election is held, Tilden actually wins the popular vote, but there were some voting disputes or irregularities out of a few of the southern states, including Florida. You'd figure Florida would get this right at some point. And so Republicans were trying to say they'd actually won the most electoral college votes, and the Democrats were very upset about this. And there was some talk about civil war starting up again because the Democrats felt like they were being denied power by the Republicans. Well, thanks to Tilden, who was a fairly calm guy, he said, let's find out what kind of compromise we can make. They have a commission to decide who gets the electoral college votes, and it ended up being 8 Republicans and 7 Democrats, and of course the vote ended up 8-7 for Hayes to win. But the deal was the Democrats said, okay, look, we'll accept this, but here's what we want. We want Reconstruction to end. In other words, withdraw the rest of the military forces out of the South. Now, this is going to be a disaster for African Americans because Southern governments will then begin really repressing African Americans throughout the South. But they say we want the end of Reconstruction. And we also want a Southerner named Postmaster General. Now you would think that why is that? Well, because the Postmaster General was the person that who awarded the most patronage jobs, so Democrats could get a lot of Southerners in government jobs. And there were some other things as well. And then the South said, what we'll do is we'll support emancipation. We'll make sure that we support freedom for everybody. We will follow civil rights laws, which they won't do. So that makes Rutherford B. Hayes the presidency. He's never really accepted very well. His nickname is fraudulency. He didn't drink, and so they would serve lemonade at parties, and his wife was known as Lemonade Lucy. But really, Reconstruction is a period that really needs to be examined more. And even right now, we're giving it a sort of a short summary because the impact of the end of Reconstruction really lingers on till today, that they really didn't solve the problems that they needed to solve at the time. So that's what we call the Compromise of 1877. And it's essentially the last thing we talk about in this course. And so I will start wrapping up with a test review for Unit 4, and I'll get that up shortly, probably by this weekend. I've got to make the test first. So keep on track. Miss all of you.